Hello, everybody. Happy Thanksgiving. Yeah, it's Thanksgiving here. I don't know when you're watching this, but if you're watching it after Thanksgiving, hope you had a happy Thanksgiving. I'm thankful for being able to enjoy knives that I love, and I have to admit, just thinking of just kind of stepping back a little bit and looking at my collection, I am a Jack Wolf fanboy. Um, I don't know. Some people consider that as a negative thing, but yeah, definitely a fan of the brand, and it's just been proven. It's been proven over time. I have several brands that I have multiple, you know, models from, and there's a lot of them that I have more knives from than Jack Wolf's knives. But I was looking at it the other day. I was actually texting with Billy from Apex Alchemy. Go check out his channel. He's got a really cool giveaway coming up. If you can get in on that, I think there's a lot of people getting in on it because it's a good one. But go check out his channel, especially if you like seeing hardness tests on knives. He's doing a lot of that stuff lately. And plus, he's making knives. He's got some cool fixed blades. So check out his channel. But anyway, we are having a conversation. He had a video about buck knives, and it went crazy. It just went nuts. And I was saying, man, yeah, you're getting all the people that love them, and you get the people that hate them, and they're all coming to see your channel, see that what you have to say about it. And he was saying, well, hey, maybe you should do something about case. I guess is one that is a little bit of a love or hate thing. I only have one case knife though, the Sodbuster Junior, and so I guess I would be in the category of not a fan of the brand on case knives. Nothing against them, but it's not something that I'm drawn to. But then he mentioned Jack Wolf knives. I said, well, that's something I could definitely do. And then I started thinking about it, started looking into it, and I I'm looking at, I got a few of them here. It's got one, two, three, four, five, six, seven knives. It's a decent number. There's only maybe a half dozen brands that I have this many knives from. But the real thing that's eye opening about it is that I have more money invested in Jack Wolf knives than any other knife brand. Maybe not a big surprise because they're higher end, but the big surprise is that I keep going to the well. I keep going back, and I want more and more and more because I do have expensive knives, but when it gets into this price range, definitely more selective about it and don't tend to buy as many. So anybody who knows about Jack Wolf knives knows that the debate is whether or not it's worth the money. I would say, for me personally, and just empirically, empirical data saying what I have bought from them, I clearly feel that it's worth the money for me. Um, there's a lot of things that go into it. It's not just the knife, and I think it depends on what you're looking for. Um, it's an experience, really. I mean, mainly it's the knife for me as well, but it's the experience. It's the whole packaging thing. We get all these cool. I'm not going to go through it all because this will be a long enough video as it is. You get this cool box with most of them, and it's got this cool story. So there's all this information. Then there's Ben Belkin, who's constantly working hard. He's at every show that I ever been to, and he is. Then that's why I have so many. Is because I usually buy one at every show. This one I didn't buy at a show, but otherwise they were all bought at a booth for Jack Wolf knives, and so it's like I don't know. There's something about it, and maybe it's hard for me to explain, because buying a $300 knife, and these kind of the average price of what I bought from him is, let's see what it says here. The average is about $294. Okay, so I get some good deals when I go to the show, so that helps. And I've already got money in hand that I've kind of set aside, so it's easier for me to spend the higher dollar value. So maybe that's part of it. But yeah, it's just let's get through the knives. I mean, I'm talking a lot. We saw the box. I'm not going to open up every single one. This is the first one that I bought. But before I bought this knife, I went to Blade Show West in Long Beach, and that was COVID time. And he wasn't selling his knives at that time, but he had had the knives there, so I could see them, and I kind of got caught up in it already. And then he had all this swag that came with it. So you got all these different designs that he had already kind of figured out at that point, but he hasn't even started selling knives yet. And then you know how the story, he started putting them out, and he put them out one a month. And so I obviously don't have all of them, because you can see how many cards there are. And this doesn't even include everything. I think there's definitely some brands since these were put out, but you can see there's a bunch of them here. And yeah, I'm if I had the money, if I could afford it, I would have them all. But I can't really. But I'm buying a large number considering the price, for sure. And I think that just goes to how much I like them. Modern folder, slip joint. I really kind of had fallen out of slip joints. Had more of them when I was younger. Then I kind of got into fixed blades. Then I got into, as I really started collecting, I got into modern folders. But then I saw these knives, and that drew me back, and now I've kind of got a small collection of slip joints, and really awesome. I mean, we don't know where he's OEMing the knives. People guess. He's never admitting to it. He's got a certain amount of mystique to his knives. He doesn't announce ahead of time. I think it's still that way now, what's coming out, and you have to wait and wait and wait. I mean, I obviously had this stack of cards, and I knew that he had all these models, but you didn't know what was going to come out next. So there's all these things that he does. He's a very smart businessman, in my opinion. He's put it in this cool packaging with the box, with the slip that comes with it. Obviously, I have one with a Northwest, I think it's Northwest Slips or something like that. Can't remember the name. But I didn't buy that one. I got this one on the secondary from Brandon Thrasher, who's the guy that really got me knowing about Jack Wolf. And then I went to that first show, got to talk with him, and we sat and talked with him for quite a while. He's just very easy to talk to. He's very enthusiastic about what he does. He makes these incredible knives with these incredible blades. It's got hollow on a lot of them, a hollow grind, very slicey, great walk and talk. So it feels very solid. It's not one of those slip joints you feel are gonna close on you as you're using it. I started out with this one, the Vampire Jack. It was the one that I liked the most. Really like drop point or spear point, and I like the coffin shape of the handle. So this is the one that I really, when I first saw him, this is the one that I was really excited about. And the next show that I went to was right after these had dropped, so that was great. And I just stuck with the micarta. I think his stuff wasn't quite as flashy back then. He didn't have as many crazy kind of, what do you call them, cover materials. But it still had that great titanium that's, is it stonewashed? I think it's stonewashed titanium. And he was doing all the M390 blade steels. And yeah, so this was the first one I got. Very excited about it. I even kind of did the form fitting of the So I can always tell which one has my Vampire Jack in it because it's got that kind of form fit to it. Next one I got, I think I have these in order, was the Feel Good Jack. The Feel Good Jack. And I got a little bit more experimental with my cover selection. This is the Limoncello. I was very proud. I think he called it something else. A limoncello is a drink. And I remember I used to be a big fan of that. I would go to Buca di Beppo. I don't know if you know that one. That's a Italian restaurant. We used to go there for birthdays and stuff like that. But limoncello was a drink that I think they have a lemon. They call it a limoncello dirt or fat carbon, something like that. But that's what it reminded me of. But I liked it, and I started really kind of getting into the fat carbon stuff, the different carbon fiber stuff. And obviously different, it's got that doctor's pattern where you got that flat bottom for crushing the pills and that long, almost scalpel looking type of blade. Again, hollow grind. And this is S90V. So he switched over from the M390 and started getting into those S90V knives. What's the next one I got here? I think, yep. Okay, so I think this is the layback jack. And here's where I went with I always kind of go with a different material. This is all titanium, and it's got that jig pattern. And jig patterns got to be kind of popular. I started seeing it a lot. I was excited about it. I think this has got like a sway back to it. A little bit of sway back. I think that's why you got the layback jack, because it's a sway back pattern. And it's got that Wharncliffe blade that everybody likes. And again, we got that hollow. Always have the good fit and finish. Always centered. Everything is just right on. So whoever's making these knives is doing quality work. Don't know, don't really care to, guess or anything like that. I'll leave that to other people that are more expert in that than I am. But yeah, that whole jigged with the titanium, very cool. I think this is the order I got them in. I don't know for sure. This one is like I said, it was the only one that I bought. Otherwise, Brandon Thrasher, he was selling some knives. I can't remember what it was. Something came up. Life happens. When you're buying knives, life happens, and you need some money, and it's a way to earn money. So this is the Javelina Jack, and it's got the what is the name of this fat carbon? It's the so the Limoncello was a camo carbon Limoncello, where this one is, where am I seeing it? Just says fat carbon. I think it's a dark matter. I don't have it marked correctly. I think it's like green dark matter or something like that. But anyway, like I said, it was used, so I bought was available. Trying to help out a brother from the community and get another great knife from Jack Wolf. Next one, most recent one I kind of got a little bit more crazy with the handle material. Started getting into this kind of a Kieranite kind of look. This is it's called a chaotic resin. And I think this is more of a Barlow shape. It's got the three stripes there. I forget what they call those. And also, we're hollow on this one. We're S90V on this one. Don't remember if the Javelina is hollow. Yeah, I guess it is hollow. And the material on that one, S90V. So yeah, it was only the first one I bought was the M390, and since then it's been the S90V, which is a great steel, really good steel. But that chaotic resin really started making me look at these materials and how cool they look. and it's like a new level of Jack Wolf knives for me. You know, I start chasing after those different types of handle materials. Then, just to mix it up and to draw me in even further, like he's doing it purposely for me, he comes out with his fixed blade. It's the Midnight Fix EDC, and this one's got a paper micarta, so not as flashy, but still very cool looking, and just a very good size EDC knife. A little small for the hand, so this is going to be little tasks, but it's similar size to what you're getting from the folders. I think that was the point. So you can see the blade length is pretty close, and the handle got a little bit smaller. I think I've heard him explain that whole thing. I don't remember all the details of it, so I'll refer you to Ben to give his explanation for that. But anyway, great little fixed blade. I do like to collect some fixed blades, especially these small ones as well. And it's got this different kind of sheath. I ended up punching through the bottom of this one. I'm gonna get a new one for this. He's got these on sale for like 25 bucks on his website last time I saw. And he's got some other slips. So if you don't like just the basic slip, I haven't picked up one yet, but he's got some much fancier ones. I definitely want to pick something up like that, just to keep my my membership in the Jack Wolf fan club here. And then, actually before this is the second one that he did, but this is a locking knife. So you're flicking it out this time. It's not the two-hand version. It's the one-hand. Again, S90V. Really cool black wash. And this one, what do they call this? Bionic Jack. And the cover is, it's a Kieranite. I don't remember the name that he called it. Gold something. Anyway, I should have researched a little bit more. You know my memory, not that great, but I would like this from the first time I saw it, and I picked it up at the California Custom Knife Show. That's the most recent show that I've been to. Next one I'm planning to go to is in Texas, so if any of you guys are out there, this is my first year attending Texas, and that is my plan. Hopefully that'll all work out. But anyway, this is the folder, and I think it really is well made, and it's similar. I think it's bigger than most of these other knives, which I kind of like because I'm more of a big knife guy. You can see it definitely has some size to it, but I mean, for switching over from slip joints, which he does so well, to fixed blades, which he did a really good job on, to folders, he did an excellent job. I mean, the action is amazing. Got that fuller there that works out really well. It's got this cool clip to it. Still has a traditional kind of look to it. I think it's bionic because I think it's kind of based off of the Cyborg Jack. So yeah, you got a clip you can take off. He's got a cover that he gives you. If you want to just put it in a slip, you can take this off and put the cover on there and carry it like a regular traditional. But yeah, it's a great knife. I mean, I really like the fact that it's got that frame lock that's like a bolster lock. Really cool. Very cool knife. So anyway, I'm sure, yeah, about 20 minutes, guys. And I didn't go into it, didn't gush majorly, but I was shocked, really, when I looked at how much the value. I got my spreadsheet. I've told you about that, and I can just highlight all the numbers. It'll give me a total amount. So out of all of these knives, $2,000 basically. $2,000. So if I ever have a life situation, you know, I can get some, maybe I can recoup some of that if I have to sell them. It would be very painful for me, and never had to sell a knife. Haven't done that yet. You know, I'm that kind of guy that's had the same job for 35 years, never really been on unemployment, never lost my job, just continually growing and moving up in the company. So I never had that problem, except now I'm looking at retirement. That's going to be interesting. But I'm kind of working out all my retirement goals here. I don't know that I'm going to be able to buy as many Jack Wolf knives after I retire, and maybe some of these knives will become part of my retirement plan. Who knows? But one of the things I think about with this price knife, they're Chinese made. We all know that. There's no hiding that. It never has been. The quality is there, so it's definitely one of those higher end Chinese knives. But you got other knives out there with competition. There's been a lot of talk about American versus Chinese, and the reality is that American knives seem more expensive, at least in my opinion. They seem more expensive because of the fact that we have Chinese knives to compare them to. If we never had all those Chinese knives coming in that were so inexpensive, like, say, a Rough Rider, $15. I mean, clearly there's a little softer walk and talk here. The materials aren't as fancy. Fin finish is very good, though. Also Chinese made. The material on the blade steel, I believe this is a, what did we say this one is? This is a 440A. But, it's a really good knife. It's a really good knife. And I kind of bought this and started getting into these because of the excitement over Jack Wolf knives and reigniting my interest in slip joints. But $15 is like, if you're feeling really broke one week, but you're just desperate to get another knife to cheer yourself up, $15 is a great way to go. I only have maybe 4 Rough Riders. So clearly not a fanboy, but I do like them. And they're competition. So when you're comparing Chinese knife, $300 to $15, and maybe you don't have enough money to be shelling out $300 that often. This is going to be something that's going to make you kind of say, hey, that doesn't seem like it has the value. I obviously do, because I have both of these knives and these knives, and still feel that these have the value personally. So maybe it's a matter of experience. Maybe it's just a different way of looking at things. Now here's another knife with a really good, strong walk and talk from Rosecraft, also from China. But really, a lot of people are arguing these as being some of the best slip joints out there from Rosecraft. Andy Armstrong's putting out great stuff. Love the bone handle, so we're getting some more interesting handle materials. Andy definitely is doing similar to Jack Wolf, and seeking out just the materials to really make their knives stand out. These are more expensive than the Rough Riders, so we're talking about the $80 range for this one. The Stinkin' Sow Belly, I love that name. Then there's always a couple American knives. There's the Case. We talked about that a little while ago. This one was inexpensive. This one was only $35, but you can spend a lot more. You can spend pretty much Rosecraft money or more on Case knives. This is about as plain Jane as it gets, but it is good fit and finish, and I just wanted to get one in the collection. It doesn't have the half stop, which is unfortunate. But it's not a deal breaker. It's still a good knife. Sodbuster Jr. And then recently, because, sorry, my voice is like giving out here. Recently, I've been checking out traditional pocket knives. And a lot of people talk a lot about GEC knives. And this is a USA-made company. And so it is a USA-made slip joint. It's a two-blader. And it is very cool because it's got all these cool features. Like it's got this kyanite that really has a great look to it. Fit and finish is great. It's got the Indian head on it, which is very cool, and it mentions it there on the stamp. Sea Riser Cutlery, that's basically the name of the company, but Traditional Pocket Knives is kind of like its nickname, or I don't know how that all works, because you kind of see both as the name of the company. But yeah, this is a really great knife. This one was $250, so it's up there in the range, but it is USA made knife. Really good fit and finish. I couldn't complain about this one. Even the smaller blade has the half stop. Nice walk and talk. Great knife, but I only have one from GEC. Now they're a little bit harder to get, but I don't know that I'll ever collect any other slip joint like I do Jack Wolf. And from early on in my real collecting, I mean, I've had knives all my life, and I've kind of collected them, but not at the extent. I would never have 7 knives from one brand back in the day. But now that I'm really getting into it, Jack Wolf has kind of been there from the early days all the way through to the most recent show that I went to. So it's kind of a brand that's been there for me the whole way. I got this cool coin. I've shown that before. Very cool. Picked up this Pog along the way. I can't even remember where I got it from. That first year when I bought that Vampire Jack, when I got the cards before they were selling anything, I remember that Brandon Thrasher always had the hat. Always had the hat with the wolf on it. Very just iconic and cool. And I was asking Ben, joking around with him, hey, you don't have any hats? And he goes back to a box and reaches in, and he grabs out a T-shirt. He just hands it to me, just gives it to me. I think he had them made for some previous show that he had been to, but he had them in there in a box, and he said, hey, here's a shirt. Pretty cool. So I was kind of sold from the beginning, and it hasn't worn off. There's other companies that I used to buy a lot of, and I've kind of slowed down on. Jack Wolf is not one of them. Consistently there for me. Don't see an end of that coming, because Ben is always coming up with new stuff. I forget what he had these things, and probably on the website, these like things that look kind of like throwing stars, but I think he called them like ornaments or something. Anyway, they were very cool. I didn't pick one of those up because I was buying this guy. This is what I really wanted, but he's coming up with all kinds of cool different things. So Jack Wolf Knives has been a friend to me in my collection. Ben has always been nice to me. He always remembers my name. He must talk to thousands of people at shows, but he still remembers my name. I appreciate him so much. Appreciate this company so much. Customer service is amazing. And just the story, the presentation, everything just continues to keep me interested. So yes, I am a Jack Wolf fanboy. I know there's a lot of people out there unhappy about them or don't like them for various reasons, and that's okay. I can understand that because you can get this knife for $15. That does not surprise me. But for me, there is no doubt. I love this company. All right, guys. Happy Thanksgiving. Hope you really enjoy it. Sorry it's a long video. Maybe even between football games or something, or maybe you watch it for 5 minutes and come back and watch some more. I don't know. Or you just watch whatever you want to watch and fast forward. Hey, guys, enjoy your holiday, and I will see you on the next one. Bye.